Wrestling fans, welcome to the Big Schmozz. I'm Scotty Bender alongside superstar Rob Schulz, the big guy, and we are quarantined. I think everyone's quarantined, right? Can't be together. 6 feet. Social distancing is the hot thing these days. How's everyone doing?
Doing all right. Catching up on TV and supposed to be doing some homework, but I've been playing more video games than I should have, but it's fun.
It's been a nice break, but it's getting a little old. You know,
2 weeks in.
Yeah, 2 weeks in. I mean, where I work, they've got us home till May. So, but I don't know if we're going to make the Trump Easter wish that this is all going to be back together. I'm not really sure if that's going to work, but right.
It's good to have goals, though, right? Something to shoot for.
Yeah, lofty goals. Goals, but we'll see what happens. Mm-hmm. You know, it seems like the cases are going up, but I'm not going to get into a political discussion here about that. But it just as Fauci says, the virus dictates the timeline. We do not dictate the timeline. So that's the takeaway.
Well, you don't want to get your political rant before the hot button segment of the show.
No. You got to save that for the hot button.
Save it.
Yes. And speaking of quarantine, I mean, you know, this is wrestling, so wrestling still goes on. No crowds, but they're doing their best to doing the best they can to make entertaining shows.
Yeah, and like getting used to not going to work and staying at home and trying to figure out how to do your master's degree when you don't have like a physical class. The first episode of Raw, or was it SmackDown with no crowd, was weird, but I am getting used to it now, and finding it easier to accept the lack of crowd stuff. Yeah.
I've come to appreciate the fact that how much, I mean, in crowds in all sports, obviously, are you make a huge difference. But more importantly in wrestling, I've just realized how important it is with the crowds and the pageantry of, you know, the entrances and just the electricity, especially with AEW. I mean, their whole thing was the crowd is just so electrifying and so into anything they do. And I've just noticed, you know, a big difference with that. But I think they're doing pretty good. Their shows were entertaining a couple weeks ago, and they had, you know, the wrestlers on the outside. I thought that was a really good idea. They're showing a lot of backstage stuff now, so I think they're doing, you know, a really good job. But truth be told, I don't know how long I can go on to keep doing this. You know what I mean? I get it, but I don't know if it's going to get old with me after a while. That's my concern.
Well, they're taping a lot of stuff, and if for those who don't know me, I hate the spoilers and I don't like hearing about stuff. So I have no idea what's going on, but I heard that a lot of guys are dropping out because they are stuck inside. Mm-hmm. They don't get to go out. So that's definitely making for an interesting time of the year. The most important time of the wrestling year with WrestleMania, a show big enough, it needs 2 nights.
Yeah.
I winked there. I don't know if it came through.
No, it's a delayed wink.
AEW had to lose the wrestlers in the crowd for their second week of taping. Mm-hmm.
What do you mean?
Well, they had too many people in the building at one time, so even though it was super entertaining having MJF yelling at everyone at ringside, they couldn't do that again.
It really was.
Now that sounds fun. So they had the wrestlers sitting in the crowd?
Yes. Factions of the workers, and then during the matches they would yell, and like Joe just said, the big guy just said, MJF was awesome. He was just insulting everybody, and it was really entertaining. I actually really enjoyed it.
So they can't do that?
No.
Shoot.
Yeah. So this past week they tried something where they had like 4 or 5 wrestlers in a small locker room, and they would occasionally cut to them yelling, but it wasn't really that good.
No, it really wasn't. And they'd be holding up signs that they would draw signs up and hold signs up and, you know, insulting the workers, the other opponents and stuff.
Vanguard 1 could be in the crowd every week, and that would be okay.
What so both shows did a lot of guest commentary, and I think that helps a lot. The Street Profits doing guest commentary because they're so loud and they made so much noise that it actually helped.
It really wasn't. You're right. You guys know my feeling on the Street Profits, but they actually that did help because I did kind of was trying to flip back and forth between the two, and I did catch them, and I would agree with that.
I liked Asuka commentating. That was entertaining.
Yeah, Asuka also. She nailed it. Home run.
She really got into it.
And then
she was great.
Yeah, and I thought Cody did a good job, and Tony Schiavone. I actually thought they were pretty good together. Quite honestly, I thought Cody did good. He was, he had a lot of insight into the matches and into the holds, and he just brought a different flavor. And I've always liked Tony Schiavone, so it was good. Because when they're doing the three-way between Ross, Schiavone, and Excalibur, Schiavone I think gets lost sometimes in the threesome. So it was good to hear him again, kind of have a little more commentary leeway, I guess I'll put it. So he's I've always been a fan.
He actually hasn't been doing commentary. He's been kind of their Mean Gene, if you will.
True.
Last few weeks. So
with Taz, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Taz.
But it was good. But I like Tony Schiavone. I've always liked Tony Schiavone. Yeah.
I've never heard anyone say that before.
No, I do. I people say what they want, but I've always actually enjoyed him. I don't know. I just do.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah.
So let's move on to the big topic being WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a little different this year.
2 nights, so it's a big show.
Yeah, we get that. You already did that joke, I think.
Oh.
But
I don't know what's getting cut out.
So let's start off with the host, Gronk. What's the thought on Gronk?
Oh my God. What an electrifying individual. He was dancing as if he had a crowd on SmackDown. I guess that's good that you can really put it all out there. Curious to see what kind of WrestleMania host he'll be. Again, with no crowd. But probably more of the same. It's interesting. And he'll be in Tampa Bay, where his old teammate Tom Brady is. Wow.
Yeah, big news there, right?
Oh, no, they're not going to be in Tampa Bay because they're quarantined. No.
Close enough.
Yeah.
I think if anyone saw Mojo Rawley and said, you know what we really need is someone just like him but more annoying, they answered that question with Gronk.
He made a match, though, or he suggested they make a match with Elias and King Corbin.
Yeah.
It's going to happen.
They're going to
wrestle.
Show.
It could be Saturday or Sunday. Doesn't matter.
Are you going to watch them both live, or are you just going to watch them like 2 weeks later on Fast Forward?
I'm going to try to watch them both live.
Good.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to try to capture the spirit of WrestleMania, right? You can't
Absolutely.
I want to watch that. I'm extremely disappointed, though. I'm not going to lie. I mean, I always enjoyed WrestleMania and the whole thing that comes with the WrestleMania, the whole weekend, NXT show the night before, and I'm a little disappointed. But I understand the show has to go on, and me and Big Guy have talked at length about this. You can't stop storylines. You got to keep advancing them and moving them forward. It's just disappointing, but that's just me being a wrestling fan and being selfish, and
Well, there's
Tampa too.
Yeah, there's no off season.
Yeah.
No, I know. But you're right, though, Joe. And I was thinking about it the way you put it. You can't stop the storylines. I mean, who knows how long this is going to go on for, this whole quarantine and social distancing, and they just can't stop the product and wait till this to blow over. They got to keep moving. So I do get your point. I'm just saying. I'm just voicing my opinion. Like I said, as a wrestling fan, and just being selfish. To the whole thing. I just wish that it wasn't this way. I wish they could do it in front of a live crowd, and but it is what it is.
Wrestling fans aren't selfish.
And I'm going to go on record and say that Scotty Bender on the Big Schmozz, you're free to voice your opinion anytime.
Oh,
thank you. Yeah, so that's how I feel.
Nice.
And it's also disappointing because some of the matches, some of the we've been seeing names daily that have. Are not going to be on the show. I mean, most recently The Miz, and we all know about Roman Reigns, and his, the leukemia. They're very sensitive to vulnerability with catching the coronavirus, and I'm sure there'll be more to come. Is that we still a week away, so I don't think that they'll be the last of the wrestlers that won't be participating.
Yeah, so they actually already taped WrestleMania. So as far as like what happened, we don't know. The spoilers aren't out, and I don't think I actually want spoilers for WrestleMania.
No,
we do know Roman Reigns is out. We know The Miz is out. We believe the Usos are out.
Did they get another DWI or?
No,
Insert joke.
Yeah.
So how long are because they're splitting it up, how long is each night going to be? I mean, is from a time frame standpoint, a few hours, or is there any word on that or no?
Yeah, I don't think we know, but we do know they added more matches, like Corbin, Elias, and they originally were going to try to keep WrestleMania, I think, shorter than last year's marathon, but now I don't know. There's also so the Bray Wyatt John Cena match is going to be a filmed match, a la the Compound match or the House of Horrors with Randy Orton.
Good, I like that.
So they could do all kinds of tricks and special effects.
Yes,
I love special effects.
Speaking of the special matches, the Boneyard match, right? Is that what?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Nice, a nice segue.
Did you see on Undertaker's Twitter account? Did you see this? His Twitter? Yeah, he's got a Twitter. It's ridiculous. The Undertaker has a Twitter account. He likes this, he likes that, and he's posting selfies on Instagram. Who is this man? Where has he gone? I don't want the Mark Calloway that's posting selfies, getting on Twitter and writing this and that. I don't want that. I want the Undertaker from yesteryear. That's who I want. And he's nowhere to be found. I'm going to bring back the dead man. I'm going to bring back the dead man in a match that he would love to be in. Right in his wheelhouse. A boneyard match. Oh, yes. Yes. Yes, this is your match, Taker. This is for you.
So there is an interesting point there that this match would have been awesome when The Undertaker was good and AJ was a little younger. But are you still looking forward to it?
What's a boneyard match?
Oh, we have no idea. It's probably a buried alive match.
Yeah, I was gonna say that, like a buried alive match. He should.
I like his promo. I like how he called him out and called him by Mark Calloway, and I like kind of where he's going with it. Basically, just with the references to his wife and stuff. So I kind of like how he's building heat for the match. AJ Styles
blowing up the allure of it all,
yes.
Revealing Undertaker to be just an old man, not the phenom he once was.
I actually like it.
But we'll see how this match goes. This boneyard match.
I feel like that's been
dead man.
The standard for Undertaker matches lately. The buildup has been pointing out how old he is. Okay, let's take a break. And when we come back, we're going to talk about the Exalted One.
Oh.
Ooh.
Okay.
Searches found in sin, we say you're doing time. Now you stand on this last edge. What did you expect to find out?
And now let me put it a different way, because maybe the stupid out there didn't understand. If we come and knock on your door, you open that door and you let the Dark Order in. And if you don't, I personally will kick that door down and lead the Dark Order through it. Seems to be a little bit of silence. Maybe you don't understand. Let me make this one a little more personal, a little more tangible for you to feel, Mr. Christopher Daniels. Oh, you thought you were safe, didn't you? The thing about it is now the word is out, Chris. You are very unsafe. All your jokes, all your games, Did you really think you were gonna go unpunished? Mr. Daniels, I assure you, you are not the first out of touch old man to not believe in me, but I will make damn sure you are the last. Now let me take this time to formally introduce myself to you, Chris. My name is Brodie Lee, and I am the Exalted One.
Oh my God! Brodie Lee just took Daniel's head off. Brodie Lee is the Exalted One. It wasn't a hoax. It wasn't a lie. It's a fact. There is an Exalted One, and it's just a effort. Nasty. Brodie Lee. Wow. Like a big rig running over Christopher Daniels as Uno and Grayson take out Kazarian. The Exalted One has arrived in All Elite Wrestling.
We are one! Who are you? We are one! Who are you? We are one!
And we're back on the big schmozz.
Oh.
And
it's pretty
Scotty,
cool.
Yeah.
What do you think of the Exalted One?
I'm excited for Brodie Lee. Obviously, there's some personal feelings. You know, all three of us have seen Brodie. You know, I've talked about this at length. Seeing him come up through the indie scene here in Rochester, New York. We were very excited when he went to WWE. Now he's left there, and now he is vaulted into the spotlight as the Exalted One here on AEW, and I'm very excited for him. I've always had a lot of confidence in him, and it's going to be very interesting to see if he can take the ball and run with it, because he's kind of put into a big spot here. This whole buildup from, for weeks for the Exalted One, a lot of speculation. We even speculated, on this podcast on, who we thought was going to be the Exalted One. I think we all figured it was going to be Brodie, and now it's his time to shine. He's, made claims and, just differences in creativity with WWE, and now he is here, and he is national television, and he is in spotlight. So I'm very interested to see how he is received and his character develops.
Schulz?
Yes, more of the same. I think it's great. He's getting a shot to do something. I didn't expect him to have such a big role, I guess, on air already. Maybe that's because I've been conditioned with seeing him be so far in the shadows and not even close to the front row in terms of exposure into WWE. On Raw this week, they showed the old match with Cena and Bray Wyatt, and he was ringside, and it's just so weird. That's how I remember most of his career, it seemed, in WWE. And then he went away for a while and came back as, the Bludgeon Brothers. So this will be cool. And I like him eating steak. That was pretty awesome. I've heard some of those stories firsthand.
Yeah. So I guess my opinion is just a little different. I kind of feel like this is more of a mid-card gimmick. And even though he's doing a great job, I feel like Lance Archer is getting the better spot because he's kind of immediately thrown into a Cody Rhodes program, and Brodie is kind of stuck with the Dark Order, who are very much like jobbers, and a feud with Christopher Daniels, who is kind of at the bottom of the card. So I was a little disappointed in that. I would have rather seen him with Jake the Snake and going after Cody.
Okay, well, I guess we'll see where it goes, right?
Yeah.
I think I definitely see the Big Ice point. I'm hoping the whole Dark Order thing, in my opinion, was kind of hokey, and I'm hoping that, again, we've seen AEW take certain angles, and we've seen them derail things that don't work, and so maybe Brodie can bring some sort of credibility to the Dark Order, and seeing how he can maybe turn that into, like you said, maybe rise it from a mid card, but maybe this is a good starting point for him. But I know, I've read some stuff, and we talked earlier about some of the ideas that he had when he was in WWE, that he pitched to Vince. I think we talked about, the serial killer gimmick and, being a very calculated, killer and a very calculated manipulator. And hopefully we'll see some of that, with the Dark Order. Maybe, like you said, fact is stranger than fiction in wrestling. So I do see Big Guy's point, but I'm hoping that maybe, this push, at the level that it is, maybe it can be, turned into something. Rising like a phoenix.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's making the most of it. And I think, they've added the element of the Vince McMahon parody to the character, which takes it to another level among the internet fans. But I don't know, if people at home, let's say you're a casual wrestling viewer, you're seeing Luke Harper, and it's like, wow, Luke Harper's on AEW. And all of a sudden he's wearing a suit and eating steaks and yelling at people for sneezing. I think that could be a little confusing.
Big Guy, I didn't even get it. And I'm very honest to openly admit it here on this podcast. I didn't even know it until I kind of, read about it. And then, I texted you about it, and you and Rob, and I didn't even understand it. I really wasn't picking up on the signs. I just thought it was just something. And then now, the whole sneezing about how Vince, and then after, it hit the internet and I started reading on the dirt sheets, and I was like, oh, now I get it. But I didn't get it at first. So I'll be the first one to admit I didn't get it.
I don't remember exactly what he said. Did he happen to say, hey, dude, to anyone?
No. I think the problem is inside jokes, which anyone who's seen Wrestlevision knows we do a lot of inside jokes. They're great, but they also have to, at the same time, still be appealing mainstream to an audience who doesn't understand the inside joke.
I agree.
I don't know if this is at this point.
Correct. Yeah, it was a little too inside. It was almost a little too deep. Yeah, it was almost like the guys in the back knew the joke, but anybody, you know what I mean? You almost had to have experienced Vince McMahon to understand the joke, where, we've all together been watching wrestling for a long time. And again, I didn't get it. I wasn't really sure what was going on. I was just kind of enjoying seeing him on the big stage, I guess, to put it that way. But yeah. Looks like he lost weight too. Looks like he's in better shape, quite honestly. I don't know.
He looks like he's in good shape.
Yeah, looks like, I don't know if it was the outfit he was wearing, but not that he was ever overweight or anything, but I did watch that match you were referring to when he was at ringside, and then seeing him recently, live here, he just looks like he slimmed down a little bit, and he just looks a little more, he looks like he's in better shape.
What do you think of the gear, Joe?
What do I think of the gear?
Yeah.
Matt Hardy is back in AEW.
You were witnessing this. Chris Jericho's asking a drone, Vanguard.
Huh?
I think that's a no.
What do you say, man? No, fly this way.
Hey,
Vanguard turning the other cheek.
You come back here, Vanguard!
Turning his back on
you. Come back here, you son of a bitch!
Come on,
You're
Chris.
You're gonna regret this!
No means no. He said no.
You may recognize my vessel. You may know my name. But there is a different entity, a different essence behind the wheel. I am Damascus, and Damascus is over 3,000 years old. Like the chameleon, you have changed many times over the last 2 decades that I've known you. But inside, you are still an evil essence, rotten to the core. Truly a hole of the ass.
Wow.
He sounds like Bobby Tender.
Well, from the sounds of it, Schultz, you loved it.
I did love it. I got my Lucha shirt on today, and that's the kind of stuff, like, I love hokey so much. And even back in the day, my wrestling friends would razz me. They were all getting into Ring of Honor, because they were cool guys and they liked inside forearms and going to watch all the wrestling and everything. But I was always the more pageantry, the Undertaker type of thing.
Gimmicks.
Huh?
You like gimmicks?
Yeah, I do. A lot. And, although the Boogeyman isn't the best wrestler, I do like when he gets the mouthful of worms, because they're really...
Bastion Booger? You like all those days? Yeah.
Yeah. I miss a lot of that stuff. So Matt Hardy Vanguard is pretty cool. I like it.
So in your eyes, the character still has legs. You feel like Matt Hardy can do no wrong.
They should give him full creative control. Unlimited.
Wow. Scotty?
So this is how I feel. I did not watch. So okay. So Matt. So Matt.
You didn't watch TNA.
Correct. So this is all kind of new to me. So I only knew of Matt Hardy's delete gimmick and all this through reading things on the internet. I never really watched it, with the lake and his compound. So hearing him and doing this character and doing this thing is kind of new to me. So I haven't really decided either way how I feel about it. So I'm just trying to absorb it. Does that make sense? I guess.
How did you feel about Vanguard 1 recording one of the Young Bucks' recovery level?
Oh, I thought that was kind of funny. I actually laughed. That was pretty funny. And the different colors, and then he comes out of he was in the gym working out in his garage, and then he comes after, and the thing takes off. I did like it. So I'm just kind of trying to enjoy, because again, I really wasn't watching, TNA or Impact when he was doing the delete thing. I just, again, was reading about it. And then obviously when he went to WWE, he abandoned it. So it wasn't there. So it was kind of the old Matt Hardy. And now he's bringing that back again. So I'm kind of just reacclimating myself with it.
Yeah, he did do the character in WWE. Remember he was with Bray Wyatt and they were the broken whatever.
Right, but I think it's more now. Is it? It's probably more to the level that it was at TNA now, maybe, or
yes. So that's where I see the problem. I don't know the whole Damascus thing, and I think he maybe is going too far with it.
Mm-hmm.
He might just be BSing though. Maybe he'll get called out for it. You're not really Damascus. I don't know.
And kind of into your point, Joe, do you think, again, I don't know what kind of, I don't know, AEW is doing good numbers, on paper with the viewership, but of these viewers, I mean, how many people are familiar with this gimmick that he's doing, and the whole delete, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, are there new viewers tuning in, to AEW now? And they're just kind of like, what is he doing? Like, what is this? I don't know.
I think there was enough of the character in WWE that the mainstream audience would know what the character is.
Okay, fair enough.
I don't think anyone could follow that promo, but
right, right, yeah.
And the stuff he did in TNA. I mean, no one was watching TNA, but the YouTube clips of what he was doing were everywhere, seen by millions that way.
Mm-hmm,
so I feel like the character is well known enough, but I don't know if I want to see that right now. Why not Brodie Lee versus Chris Jericho? That would have been good.
Yeah.
That's coming, isn't it? Has to be.
I don't know. They're both heels, so.
I like to see Moxley and Brodie Lee, quite honestly.
Yes.
That's what I want to see.
What about Brodie Lee versus Kenny Omega?
Yeah. Again, Brodie, look, he can still wrestle. He's still got the big moves. I mean, going back, I know we're kind of switching, but going back to, he's now the finisher. He was doing that. It almost looked like, he was doing the X-Bomber Lariat, and it looked good. I mean, he can wrestle. He did his signature.
Clothesline.
Well, yeah, the discus. He did his signature senton over the rope. The back splash over the rope. He did that I've seen him do. Here locally, and he can still work. And I'm a big fan, so I'm hoping. I've always liked Brodie, and I'm hoping that this really gets over and this really elevates the Dark Order. So we'll see.
Yeah.
I think we're all in agreement. We want to see him wrestle as much as we can. There's a lot of guys there. Pac. Want to see him wrestle Pac?
Yeah, there'd be some good matchups. Yeah, you're right.
All right, let's take another break, because when we come back, it's time for a Hot Button with Bender.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah. So that's when we break the internet, and we'll be right back.
All right.
Switches found in sin with a yard doing time. Now you stand on this last edge. What did you expect to find? I wonder that you know that your gods never live. Never you mind where the feeling
we are back on the Big Schmozz.
Fans.
Yes.
It is Scotty Bender, Superstar Rob Schulz, and the big guy. And it is time for the #1 segment in all the internet. It's called Schulzie Explains It.
He did such a good job last week.
I was going to say that. Everyone was like,
you did.
Does he even know who the Rockers are?
So, Schulzie, this week on Schulzie Explains It, I would like you to explain to all the listeners out there about the formation of the Mega Powers.
Oh, man. Okay, again, this is a little before my time. I can tell you that it is Hulk Hogan and Macho Man Randy Savage, and they had a really important handshake, right? Like it took a while to do it. I feel like Elizabeth was a crucial part of it, protecting her, because Hulkster had a friendship with her, but Macho Man was with her, so they had to both protect her. And there was a time when Hogan. Well, this is the breakup, I guess, of the Mega Powers. When she got knocked out in a tag match or something, and he carried her to the back, and then Macho Man turned around to see her carrying her away. So that's the breakup. The formation, oh, man, I don't know what started it. I had been watching before on the WWE Network, and I left off, they fought at WrestleMania 5? WrestleMania 7? Oh, no one can help me. They fought at one of those shows. 4? I don't remember. That's what happened. I've explained it.
Alrighty, thank you.
Yeah.
That was great.
That
close
clarified
enough?
a lot for me. Yeah.
Okay.
And now, the second most popular segment on the internet. Hot Button with Bender.
Can I just remind you really quick?
Yes.
The Astros have not played a single game since your rant.
They haven't. They've really been. I've been trying. Phone calls have been coming in. Two tried calling me. I'm not taking any phone calls from that. I do refuse to talk to them. They're probably looking forward to real quick. This whole. I don't know. I know we have football fans between the three of us, but they're talking about. Down the maybe a June start date, but who the hell knows? I mean, that could even be pushed out. And now they're talking. Okay, if it does go, they're going to do neutral sites and. And that's the best thing. The best thing for the Astros is probably they should be advocating for empty stadium games because they're going to get so fucking razzed at games. It's going to be so delightful. So no matter where they go outside of Houston, they're gonna hear from the fans. So, but today's rant is more of a public service announcement. And I don't mean to follow and piggyback off of all the COVID-19 hysteria and stuff, but there is one thing that you should be doing, and that really is stay the fuck home, okay? And really just, if you don't feel good, just follow what they're telling you, Dr. Fauci has been fantastic. The CDC, Cuomo said some good things. But really, stay the fuck home. Don't go out if you don't have to. Wash your fucking hands, okay? And you cough, don't cough in your hands. Cough in your arm, okay? And just really... This is not a joke. This is sincerely an epidemic, and people are dying because of this. And New York City's is like Escape from New York. It's an apocalypse. It's like World War Z down there in those hospitals. It's awful. And my heart goes out to all the providers and the healthcare people and the public servants, like the police, fire, that then they have to go out and put themselves on the line for this. But use your head. We're going to get through this. We will. But please use your head, social distancing. I mean, trust me, I would much rather be in the studio with Rob and Big Guy doing this. And I'd love to be out doing what I love to do the best is drink beer at a bar, at a craft brew bar. But I can't. I got to stay here and enjoy the company of my wife. Okay. And that's just been phenomenal. But anyways, so again, just please... What the experts are saying, follow what they say. Sanitize. It's got to be over 60%. And then see Big Guy right in his hands. And everyone used to think Ivan was a germ freak, but probably right next up to him was me. I just didn't. It was kind of unknown. I always had sanitizer on me, and I actually threw a cameraman out of a car ride to Canada once because he was coughing and had a cold, and that's just another story for another time. But it was a no deal. Okay, he couldn't go with me because he was coughing and had a cold, and this was even the COVID-19. It was just a fucking cold. I said, "You're not coming with us. Get the fuck out of the car." And that was the end of that. So, again, everyone, just please be safe. And enjoy your families, and well, not really because you can't go near them, but do the best you can just to follow what they're telling you. So that's all I have to say on that. So that's my rant. Yeah,
a socially conscious hot button with Bender.
That was important.
You never know what you're going to get.
No,
it's great.
The rankings are the likes are
All right, so that pretty much wraps up this week's Big Schmozz.
Yes.
On a more serious note, as you may or not know, you wrestling fans out there, we lost a very, very, very close friend to the wrestling world and personal friend of ours here, and Ivan the Impaler Jack Godzik a few weeks ago, and we're going to miss him dearly. But I'm not going to go into all that right now because we are planning a special podcast dedicated to Mr. Ivan the Impaler. But we are going to do it when we're able to get back together. So I don't think a podcast would do it justice. We're going to do it in person. But I just want you folks to know that is going to is on the horizon, and I'll be very proud to look back on the career of Ivan the Impaler, since he was a really big part of my wrestling career here in Western New York. So we miss you, Ivan. Rest in peace. But I'm looking forward to the special, and that'll be that'll be good.
Yeah, and we'll do that as soon as we can all actually be in the same room again. So hopefully that'll be fairly soon.
Yeah.
And thanks everyone for watching.
Thank
the
you.
Big Schmozz.
Yes, we'll see you soon, fans.
Catch it on the road.